So welcome, Manpreet, Dennis, Brian, Joseph. May TSPUG meeting here. Yeah, so I mean, one of the topics we often start our meetings with is just what's coming up. So Manpreet, you just fired across a Build 2023 after party that's going to be happening June 5th. So we'll put the link to that up onto the event page from this event here, just to let people know about that. We'll put the recording from this up as well. And Manpreet, if it's up to you, feel free to share the PowerPoint deck. We can put that up so people can have a look at that as well. Other things going on. So yeah, I guess at least four of us. Roy, you were at it. Were you at MVP Summit as well? I'm trying to remember who was out in Redmond 3 weeks ago. Roy's on mute there. Okay.
Hello.
It was actually, hey Roy.
Yeah. No, I wasn't at MVP Summit. Too costly.
Too costly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bring your own beer type of thing.
Bring your own hotel room and bus and everything else. Yeah. It was still good to get out there and do that. It was kind of I had a 3 weeks in a row kind of travel thing, which honestly I haven't had a lot of that for a long time. So it was interesting to get out and about. I had that going on, caught up with some family in Vancouver Island after MVP Summit. Went to a conference in Montreal and then was down in Vegas for M365 conference as well. Although I have to admit I didn't make it to a single session at the conference. Had some good partnering discussions and some video interviews that we did with Dan Holm and Chris McNulty and a couple others. So it was a lot of fun. It was a good event from that point of view. Manfred, did you go down to M365 or anybody else?
No. It was a lot of travel. I was like, no, it's not happening.
It was enough already. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to the build, so I know what's happening there. So
yeah.
I'm going to see double. Yeah.
Yeah. But, for those of you not looking at the chat, yeah, MVP Summit was all about Copilot and AI in pretty much every session. And yeah, I imagine a lot of the sessions that I missed at M365 were that way, and Build is likely going to be a similar concept from that point of view. I mean, what do we have coming down the pipe beyond that? Manpreet, you were involved in the group that I was in as well. I'm trying to remember the name of the conference. We're trying to get it going in June and then pushed it back into the fall, but I haven't really seen anything happening with it.
Oh yeah, the Cloud Security Summit. Yeah, I was getting in touch with Daryl. I think maybe he's traveling, he's busy. Don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be interesting to get something going locally here. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think Microsoft Inspire is yet again as a virtual event. That's a weird one to have as a virtual because it's very much a sales and networking conference. And then Ignite, I don't know. I haven't heard. Are they going to do a real Ignite in person? I mean, they did sort of the hybrid in person, but I knew Eric Overfield that works with Sim and Rez went to that and said it was very disappointing. It was basically sit in a room and watch the TV as if you were at home watching the TV. So.
Yeah, I heard that from people last year. I think they're gonna do it. I think they said November 18th or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's also coming in.
Okay. So I was saying to the smaller group before we were getting going, Roy, we don't have a topic on tap for June. We talked about repeating Eli's because his kind of went sideways last month and we didn't end up going with it. So we could give him that slot.
Yeah.
The thought I thought about though, if there's interest in folks, I'm a big sailing fan and I've done this before with clients and fellow MVPs before. I do a fractional charter on a sailboat down out of Queens Quay. We do a little afternoon cruise over the Island Yacht Club and then do some food and a session in person in a different kind of venue, and then head back afterwards. Now the boat only holds 8 people, and I need my wife to crew with me, so that's only 6 on it. But there is a shuttle that goes across. We could divvy up and say, okay, at least 6 get to ride out and do the sail out, and then a different 6 can do the sunset cruise. That if you've never done a sunset cruise back from Toronto Islands, particularly that time of year when it sun's up late, it's gorgeous. Like the Toronto skyline is something to behold, and seeing it from the water is an awesome experience. So if people are interested in that, by all means, I can put that one out there and start some planning on that. Maybe we can get a little excitement going and get a good group going for that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Now we could go back to the Microsoft offices downtown as well. I mean, the challenges we're having there is nobody tends to be downtown, so they don't really want to make the trek into the city to come to an evening session. But it is nice to actually get together face to face as well. I actually took the GO train down yesterday for the day and had some client meetings in the city, which is, I think, the second time I've done that post COVID from that point of view. So yeah, it's not the norm to be in the downtown core, but the Microsoft space is gorgeous. It's a nice spot to do.
How busy was downtown when you went? Like just foot traffic, food courts.
The train was full. Union was busy. So yeah, it was fairly busy. Now it was a midweek. I think Monday and Friday are significantly quieter in the downtown core than Tuesday to the Thursday because nobody's coming in 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
But the build session that you chatted out, Manfred, that sounds interesting too on June 5th. So yeah, I'll stick it to my calendar and see if I can make the trek down there. It'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah. I think we just launched it on Monday. I think we have sold around 22 tickets. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
At least we think 30% of people will be there. So that's the plan.
Very good. So we also often start the session with just, what's new and upcoming, any sort of news people want to share, or if there's questions, things people have hit that they want to raise to the group as a whole. I open the floor, feel free to come off mute, Brian or Joseph, if you've got questions, or Dennis, Roy, Manfred, anything that you want to throw your hat in on from that perspective.
I'm good on my end.
Cool. Okay. Well, why don't we turn the floor over to Manpreet and take us away.
Absolutely lovely. So first of all, thank you for having me. It's always amazing to be part of the Toronto user group, and hope we are back in office. I would love to present there, and I live right across Microsoft, so.
Oh, so it's actually easy for you to get to
easy
the
for
downtown
me.
office.
I just have to walk in.
Nice.
And if someone maybe in a shorts and t-shirt and a beer, and I'll be in office.
Perfect.
So I thank you everyone for coming in today. Myself, Manpreet, and I'm architect at Cognizant Technology Solution. I'm an MVP, and yesterday I renewed my MCD again. I think this is sixth time. I'm an MCT, and you can follow me, ask me questions in my social handles. I'm 24/7 on LinkedIn. The green light is always on there. And so coming up to Viva, I'll be talking about Viva. Why organization required. And I was just talking with Dennis, like my whole agenda is not to go ahead and start buying licenses. First understand with the free products which Microsoft Viva offers and try to bring in and then trying to adopt it. And then the whole picture of different applications like sales goals. And I'm going to show you some of the stuff and how the admin center works and everything. So feel free. We're a small group. Stop me, ask me any question. I can go back, show us, and we can also explore something together on the admin center together. So yeah, so let's keep it that way. So I think Viva came as an engagement platform named as Project Cortex, which was, I used to love that name because it was like something cool you're working on a project, something. Then became Viva. It's not bad. And now the Viva suite is so huge, and there's something new adding up every day, I would say. There's so much new engagements happening. The admin center is actually growing. Every time when you start to logging in, you will see, oh, this wasn't there, and something new comes up. I think Viva is trying to bring the ecosystem of working from home or working in person, searching information, searching data, all as an engagement platform for employees, which is really important at this time. So when pandemic hit and there was n number of data and platforms where people have to search and do individual activities, right? And bringing in all those databases and all that data content, it helped Viva to bring in more efficient for the employee experience and how they can work with the data, they can have a better life, they can book their calendars using AI, and implementations like that are really helpful right now. We never thought something Viva will be that powerful in your day-to-day activity, especially with Teams, right? Coming from those Microsoft Communicator and then to Skype and now the teams. Teams is something very, very different. People, and when I say people, I've seen so many clients, they still think Teams is like a platform for calling and texting, chatting, but it's more beyond that. Microsoft wants you to log in, have your day started with Teams. They don't want you to actually go to your Outlook or go to your SharePoint site. They want you to come to Teams and do all your activities. And actually, you can do it. There are ways you can configure your Teams. You will be able to do that. And that's what all Viva is, the engagement. So I was talking about 60% people say, let's connect it to the team. Of course, like nowadays in our team, new people come, new people go, old people come, old people like you don't know. It's just an email which you receive. Okay, I'm leaving to this and this company, etc., etc. Those days are gone. I think at the pandemic stage, when people were missing, left out, we used to have those cocktail parties, virtual something or the other. I think those have all stopped right now, right? Like people have adopted to this complete 100% work from home. So no time for teamwork or remote work, which I feel is really, really wrong, right? Yeah, I think that's what as I'm saying, it's the profitability and the high engagement of employment has been reduced. So, for example, if I have to do an innovation, right, me working from my home on a Teams call, I don't think that innovation would work that way. You have to be in a room, closed room, six of us talking and sharing our inputs and doing something amazing. I think that's where even building up a product, I would say, requires you to be on a single room. Working from home has affected a lot to the work culture. Uh, but if it's you are a service industry company and you're gonna perform those services, it's quite limited that you're gonna be doing a lot of engagements with your teammates or team members. So the elements what employee experience brought was well-being. That was the first thing, and which I love in Viva. I'm gonna show that to you. It's really, really helpful. Though we feel that it won't take much time and effort, but it's nice to do for a 10 minute break. A connection, something to see how you can bring your intranet as a Teams app. Focus, purpose, growth, empowerment, all for employees. So when we say employees, this platform is actually built for employees. There's nothing for the leadership. There's nothing for the admin center, and no, not much for the organization in state other than Viva Insight. It's more for people, for the organization people to have more clear communication and to share the data, save their data, and search for them more efficiently. I think that's what it's all about. And that's where the employee experience come in the picture. They have been divided into the learning content model, well-being model. There are communities to engage, knowledge center through topics and syntax. And then you have insights. Insight is again one of the very, very powerful engine. I never had thought Microsoft will build something like that because Microsoft data analytics or auditing was negligible. Like there was nothing. And we as developers, when we were asked to get some input, hardly we can go and get them an audit log of. But now this auditing is more of their people, of the people who are working, how they're performing, are they burnout or having their issues. I think that kind of insight in an organization, like especially use organization like ours, we are 300K people. It's really helpful for people to understand how their employees are working and are they happy or not. And then the company resources with Power Apps and etc., all the stuffs in there as well. So we were started with, as I was talking about Project Cortex and Syntax, and then it became Microsoft Viva, the suite. And then the topics came as learning, insight, and connections with the really powerful engines, which are still available. And add on to that, there were goals, engage, and Viva Sales. Something really nice. Viva Sales is like beyond the limit. I love it. Uh, and Viva Goals is again more defined level of power app, sorry, planner. And we're gonna see that more in details and how it works and the layer of the powerful insight work on that. So why is unique view? As I was talking, I think it is just built for employees. It's more of an employee experience platform and where they can use it for n number of uses. This the security and the insights are all part of the same compliance center of Microsoft, so we don't have to worry about data and the complete ecosystem. I think that's what it makes it unique. So if you want, you can bring in and those free Viva Suite products directly onto your platform. Start using it from day one. And the ones which are paid, I'm going to talk about that as well. Like you can use it on a date, pay per user licenses or for complete organization. It depends on you. And it's not that pricey, to be honest. Okay, so see, ecosystem was brought in not just with Microsoft products, right? So when, for example, the learning content model was prepared, they had Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, and all the stuff. And as well as when well-being was concerned, they had Gleaned, Headspace, and all. So they have integrated all third-party applications together as one suite. So hardly it was a platform where you need to have an app for everything, things for everything. But now it being a well-being ecosystem all in one place, which can be accessible through phone, through anywhere, wherever you can deploy your teams. It has become more encouraging for people. And after I do the training at my organization and other client, and have people use it, and when I meet them after 3 months, 6 months, and they say, "Hey, Manpreet, I love that focus thing where I can block my calendar, I can meditate and things like that." Trust me, when they say that, you feel okay. At least people are using Viva, because what happened once we present, right? We don't know it. But once you meet them after 3 months, 6 months, and realize that they have been using it now regularly, it means it's working. That's why Viva is becoming more famous. And you have Viva Days, Viva Explorer, and a number of platforms where supporting Viva now. All right, so first Viva came with as Project Cortex, which was Viva Topics, Topics. That was a very important part of it, and I was loving it. Still, I don't see that fully functional topics how it should be as they had determined, but the platform is evolving, and as I said, like even the build is next week. You don't know, they might be having new surprises, of course, other than Copilot. And so it's actually evolving, and it has become quite a powerful platform. So what happens in Viva, right? Topics, I would say. Topics is nothing but a keyword generator, which is run by AI. It's gonna crawl all your index, all your documents, all your content in your tenant, and based on the permission level, based on the security in place, it's gonna bring those topic pages and topic cards in the frame. Now you'll ask me, what is topic pages and topic cards? Let me show that here. So here I have them open. And before I go in there, I want to show you the tenant center. So if you go to your portal.office.com and to your admin center, this is my admin center, admin.microsoft.com. And you go to, where did it go? Setup. So you will see Microsoft Viva as a complete suite here. This was never there. It used to be below some part, some Cortex, some syntax. Now you have a proper dialogue of all the Viva collection, which is good. Okay, come in here, and this is what, if you have a tenant access, you will be able to see what Viva's product you have and what you can deploy, what are assigned, what are not assigned. You can see them here. You can manage the licenses right here after subscriptions, or people have requested some auto came policies and stuff here. So which is good. Again, sorry, I went back. So you don't have to like trouble yourself and assigning licenses on the user level. You can do all things right here on the admin center. Then you see all your products like Viva Connection, Viva Engage, Goal, Insight, Learning, Topics. I'll go one by one, each of them. So when I talk about Viva Topics here, when I click on the admin center, and now it's quite elaborative. There was nothing in before, trust me. So you have an option to manage Viva topics and view system insight. So it's not only provide you what's right now. This is my dev tenant. How many sites are processed to content to crawl in the index? How many files were processed? How many topics are visible by the AI? It's all depends on you. And this is the part of the search and intelligence on your Microsoft Crawl Index, which will run all on sync. So when I come up here, and I just have to go to Viva Topics. When I go to, so you have an option here where you will be able to review what Viva is, what Viva topic is, and when you have to set it up, a very easy system. Let me go back. Sorry, yeah, just move my laptop. So you see many plans of Viva topics here. Different crawling. You can allow it to be the topics to be discovered. You can allow the center to be discovered both ways, and you have knowledge managers who will be taking care of it. It was very important. I was part of the topic center when it was in preview, and we realized a lot of issues if the topics AI goes just running. So this is the topic center, which when you create in a tenant, it creates one right now. Maybe there might be more tenant center. So what it does is Viva Topic Center is nothing but SharePoint site in a layer with SharePoint pages as topic pages. Now, this is a topic page which gets created, and you also have an option to create it manually. So for example, I'm going to create one here, TSPUG to the SharePoint user group. And what are the other names, right? I can have it SharePoint, SharePoint, no, SharePoint group, SVS. It can keep on going. I'll give it a small description. There's a user group. Types, what type is it? It's a team, it's a company. I'll make it as a team. I can pin people. Like I can pull here all the people here on the call with me, Dennis and Peter, and I can include all the files or the pages, all the sites. So what happened is, let me publish it. Once, sorry. So once I deploy this gets created as a SharePoint page or topic page, where it is called, and this topic page is now available for my all organization, right? So there are two ways to do it. First thing is either I allow AI to run on the whole topic center, crawl indexes. So while it's crawling, it will start looking for some keywords which people are using it regularly on the SharePoint site, right? For example, I have been looking for FIFA, right? Or the La Liga is happening right now, and I want to look for Barcelona, what's showing. It will generate the output based on the number of searches. If realizes there are like 1,000 searches of Barcelona, it will automatically create this page. It will automatically pin the people who are talking about Barcelona in meetings and calls, in SharePoint sites, in OneDrive. It will bring in all the files and start bringing them all in one together. That is a topic page. So what will happen is next time, right now, we are talking about the user group. So if I'm trying to search for the TSPUG, I see it coming from the Viva Topic Center. So the search more gets more abrupt. Like for example, there's a new product launch happening, right? Copilot is coming in the picture. So AI will take a while to understand the Copilot and the number of searches because it's not yet announced, right? What I, as an organization, can do it, I can just create a topic page like this, set it up for the AI, and the AI is going to start crawling and getting all the context and all the data from all your tenant, whether it's OneDrive, Teams, SharePoint, and start bringing them out here on the picture. So now you'll ask me, okay, if all the content, all the pages, all the attachments are here, what if there are some ones which only account team should have access to, some pricing model? Don't worry. If you don't have access, you won't even see them out here on the topic art. If you have access, you will be able to see them. So the read access is required for them to be part of the topic. Or else, even if it's part of the topic, maybe the person sitting next to you will be able to see more content than you because you don't have access to it. So this is how the Viva topics work. And then the Viva topic card is more of a preview of an adaptive card, which shows a smaller version of it. And this center starts working in on the way you want it to be securing. So I think that's where the whole center of Viva topics comes in picture. Any questions, anyone?
I have a few questions.
Sure, Dennis.
What does Viva Topics crawl exactly? Is it SharePoint only, or it also crawls Teams and Exchange? And if it's SharePoint, is it just pages or it's documents and list items?
Right. So the plan is to crawl everything, Outlook as well as Teams. But now, right now, if you see, it only crawls SharePoint sites. You have an option to allow all sites or selected site or only one site, and sometimes no sites at all. You can just do it all manually. Next to the content, it's more of documentation. There's no list content yet, which is crawl. All documents and all the content, PPTs, Excel files, and Word documents it brings in. And soon the PDF is also coming in.
Okay, thanks. I saw that Viva Topics was showing up as an add-on. Does it mean it's not included in that relatively cheap
Yes. So Viva Topics is
license?
a license. Yes, you need to
Mhm.
purchase user license per user. It doesn't come free. Just Topics is not free.
Oh, but I mean, there is a Viva. I just checked the pricing. Viva costs about 11 or I don't know, $15 per month.
Yeah.
And it lists Viva Topics there as well. Is
Yeah.
that enough, or I need to buy even more
No, that's
on top?
enough. That's enough for Viva Topics. So
Mhm.
Viva Topics and all, other than sales and goals, they both have different licenses. If you buy a whole Viva $11 suite, you get that whole money, a whole package together.
And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're gonna talk about this, but when Viva crawls, let's say documents and pages, can it inject additional metadata, for example, keywords to the documents it crawls?
Yeah. No, the thing
No?
is, it cannot yet, but you can do the similar thing using Search Admin Center. So what you're looking for is the data sources here as connectors. I click on add here. So you have similar kind of engagement you can have. You can create a custom connector or a SharePoint vertical, and you can extract multiple metadata if you really want it.
I do.
Here you can do it. Yeah. And this
Wow.
pricing is totally different from Viva. Maybe one day I'll present this. Maybe Peter invites me. I'll talk about connectors. It's really an interesting topic. You can create your own custom connectors and you can connect from third-party resources as well.
Okay.
And
Okay,
here, the
thanks.
search result, the metadata, everything is customizable.
Okay. Okay, thanks. That's actually very interesting, but I don't want to waste time on this, but
Yeah, that's
that's
fine. That's fine.
incredibly
Yeah.
interesting. And last one question. So if Viva Topics crawls everything, it found like 7 topics. Do I have to manually go there and just for each topic say, oh, these people have access to this topic, these 10 people have access to this topic, or it's automatically assigned based on what the source permissions were?
Yeah, so the user permission is automatically assigned. If they have access to those topics, those documents, they will be able to see it. Here, if you see my screen, I have enabled the topic visibility. You can enable it only selected to people or no one, like, but you cannot narrow it down. Like if there's a product and there's a topic, it will be visible to people. But if you do not share that access for documents and attachments, they won't be able to see it.
And I'm sorry to bombard you with questions, but
No,
what
I
if
love it. I love it. Yes.
what if a topic was crawled based on, let's say, 7 documents, like 6 of them were, I don't know, visible, and there was one, I don't know, confidential.
Yeah.
What would happen to that topic?
Absolutely. So that's a very good thing. So what happens and what we tell people is like when you are adopting Viva topics, make that optional where AI is gonna crawl the whole data as no. Why? I'll tell you. So what happens is when you send the AI, it goes to the whole tenant and starts creating topics of all the keywords it finds it interesting, right? And it will just start publishing. So now there's another option in Viva where let the AI crawl, but you have to approve it manually. That's the job of knowledge management. So knowledge manager comes here and he will right now I have published it. And like I'll just go review, edit, and publish. So he or she will have an option where he has to approve or decline whether this is secured and this should not be allowed, some keywords or something like that. You can just disapprove it. And that's where this manage topic center is here to publish it or not publish it. If I remove it, it will get removed from the whole organization. Topic maybe take 24 hours to remove from the organization. So, so the whole topics can be controlled here. And when the AI crawls, like this is my dev done, you will see hundreds of topic with a tick icon and a cross icon. You need to approve or decline like that.
Sorry. I had a question for Viva Topics,
Yeah.
and now Dennis is bombarded with so many I've forgotten what I was going to ask. Sorry. So I'm just getting into it on our side. If we want to pull in other data sources like our Dynamics 365, there's out of the box connectors for that, but you have to wire them up.
Yeah, so this is the admin center, and that's not Viva. That's totally different. It's called Microsoft Connectors, Search Connectors. The pricing is a 1 million crawl of index data is $1,000, and this is how it works. Yes, so if you have third-party application like we have Jira and Salesforce, ServiceNow, FileShare, and you can even create custom connectors, building the framework, and you can connect n number of platforms. Like we have connected Google Suite, Facebook, Meta, Centers, and Documentum, Jira, all the third party, and even on-prem servers. You will be able to connect on-prem servers also. So now when I will be able to search, like for example, ServiceNow, ticket ID, I will get the ticket details right on my Microsoft Search or Teams Search. I don't have to go outside. So this
Okay.
is the complete connection. Microsoft Connector, Search Connector is called. Uh, I'm totally fine. I can come and present completely and show you how it works, the whole fixation.
Okay. So that's not specific to Viva. As long as you've got
No.
Microsoft Search wired up, then Viva will explore it.
No, yeah. So Viva doesn't have any relation with this. This is totally different product. This way you can find it under the settings, search and intelligence. If you go there, you will be able to see data sources and all the third-party applications you can connect from here. And you can do even customization on the vertical, on the result type, even on the schema. You can put the metadata. What kind of metadata do you want the data to be coming up from the search engine? Everything comes, and the whole data gets saved on the Microsoft Search Index, but nobody has access. Not even Microsoft, as they say, it's part of data center, so it's more secured in that case. And so if you have to search for your content, like many people have document them as their data sources or Google Suite they use for Google Drives and stuff, they can all be connected and they can just search their files, and using SSO, they can directly access those files. They don't have to open a ServiceNow or Google Suite. Every file can be a part of it.
Okay.
So that's
Now I don't see Dynamics 365 as a standard part.
yeah. So that
I
will
saw
come
it be
as a
a
custom.
Insight connector.
Right. So that will come as a custom then. As a custom then.
So I went up to the find more connectors and it took me out to the web and I found a BA Insight one. That would be the way to bring that data into Viva Topics.
Yeah, yeah. No, not topics. Topics, it still doesn't allow. We have been requesting, and I was just talking to Dennis. Soon, maybe in the build, they're gonna tell us that the API integration will start, where topics can be brought, like all the third-party applications can push their data to Viva Topic Center. So that search center is totally different from the search center. This is more of this enterprise search. Viva Topics
Okay,
will
sorry.
come.
I thought you were saying that if you lit it up for Microsoft Search, that Viva Topics would explore it, but it doesn't just yet.
Not yet. Yeah, not yet. If you see
Gotcha.
here is the option they show topic discovery. Right now it's only SharePoint sites.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So soon there will be a way for us to connect to third-party APIs for topics, which would be nice.
So even mail search like Exchange Online is not an option, but if you archived your email into SharePoint, it'd be able to discover those threads.
Yeah. Not as topics, not yet. That is their vision. If you see the video of Viva Topics, you see example where the Outlook is there. And if you're typing an email like SharePoint user group, the SharePoint user group will become a hyperlink automatically because there's a topic somewhere.
Right.
So that's the envision. It is yet to come in the picture. Let's see.
But if you took that Exchange Online data and put it into a SharePoint site, like just as MSG
Yes, then
archives,
yes,
then it would work,
start
right?
working. Yeah,
Okay, cool. Thank you.
lovely. Let me come back here. Yeah. So, and then you have topic permissions and who can create and edit topics. Again, this is newly launched last year. So now you'll have certain people you can allow them to create. So we call them as knowledge managers, because what happened was before Microsoft allowed everybody to create topics, right? So now if there are 100,000 K company people and they're all creating one topic, so 100,000 topics, that's a lot of content and it's not relevant content, right? We want the relevancy to be improved. Like if there is SharePoint user group, it should be just one. But topic has no unique level or something like that. If you create SharePoint user group one, SharePoint user group two, it keeps on creating like that. So that's where the knowledge manager role came in the picture, and now they can control and they can approve or they can deny the topics and stuff like that. That's the whole level of Microsoft Viva topics right now. And this UI, trust me, there was nothing. There was just 3 icons before, and now the whole better UI has come in the picture.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you think it's worth the spend just yet, or is it still a little too early?
I say don't go topics for now.
Okay.
If you really want to explore third-party connectors and want to bring the data to search, use Microsoft Graph connectors. They're cheap and they're really efficient. Because, for example, in the topic center, I can edit the page and I can do some changes, but I cannot get the metadata extract like Dennis was asking, right? What if I want to get data and design my whole research layout? Like I want to design my whole Google engine, right? Those things can be done with Microsoft Search connectors, but not with topics. There's no control. These are just
Right.
3, 4 configuration here, which I can do, but nothing on the custom side. But for what if I have to do like many people have Dayforce and Salesforce and ServiceNows and help desk models. You can bring all the clients together and just set it up. We have seen indexing data of 140, 180 million index data, and they work so smooth. Like I'm able to search on my office.com search engine, and you can see the index coming up properly. So it is really, really beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, now comes the learning part. So this is free, and I was again I think Dennis and we joined earlier. We were talking about we were learning, why people should use it. Okay, though many of our organizations have a number of learning content portals from Coursera to Pluralsight and stuff like that, right? Which is good. Don't have to start using Viva Learning. Viva Learning is more of an integration of those applications as well. So using Viva Learning doesn't mean you'll be accessing LinkedIn Learning again, because LinkedIn Learning is again a premium account. You need to buy LinkedIn Learning to use them. But Viva Learning gives you around 10,000 free courses plus an opportunity for you to add on your own videos. Like our healthcare company, they create their own learning content through L&D department and stuff. You can also integrate that. Plus, you can integrate all your Coursera, Pluralsight, and external third-party vendors. So that brings all your learning content right on Teams. So I don't have to go and open Coursera or Pluralsight to access my data. I can search directly on the Teams while I'm traveling on the train or something, and I can do my e-learning. You can assign the learning, you can see the status of learning, you can do a monthly setup and all the stuff. Really beautiful. And the layout is, of course, it's nice. You can share it with your team members using your SSO link. Uh, Easy to connect, easy to work on through. So Viva Learning is what I always tell people. Really start using it, because again, you don't have to pay license if you are E5 license minimum. The player is really smooth. Don't have to. You can work. You can chat with your team's people while you're on the call together. So I can actually come in here, work on the teams, and do my learning together, which is beautiful. So let me show it to you how the Viva Learning comes in. So this is my uh, dev tenant Teams here I loaded. So we have to go to Teams and enable Viva Learning platform. It's there by default. Uh, you just had to enable it on a team admin center, and that's it. Once you do the admin center, this is how the Viva Learning looks like. Nice look, right? Like compared to Pluralsight, even Pluralsight has a good one, but Coursera and all, I like this UI much more better. I can pin my learning, the one I want to do. I can recommend it to the people. I can add it to my calendar. Now, this is my favorite part. Okay, I know I'm gonna do this training. Let's block my calendar while I'm doing this training. It will tell you how long it's gonna take, how long is the duration, everything here, and it will block your calendar for that. You will be able to mark your calendar, like mark complete once you're done, and even it will tell you if you have done. You can bookmark it, rate it, open it directly on LinkedIn Learning. See, so you get 10,000 free LinkedIn Learning content, which is a lot, to be honest. Trust me. Even if you don't want to learn Viva, if you go and search for Viva, you can search, learn it for free. You don't have to pay any money. You see a dashboard of all your learning. You can browse your courses. You can create a collection of your, like, this is Viva collection, this is SPFX collection. You can see all the recommended to you ones which are in progress and completed. Another thing is managing them. So this will be done by your knowledge center or admin center. So what happened is like right now in our companies, you get assigned a e-learning, like you have to do this every year, some culture or something like that, right? So that can be set where a Power Automate will send you an email every year and you have to do your certain level of learning directly on Viva Learning. It will be under your My Learning, it will be assigned to you and you can do those operations. And if you see my screen here, you can manage the providers. That's what I was talking about. Right now I have LinkedIn Learning, 365 Training and Learn. You can have Coursera, you can have a number of activity set, and I'll show that to you here on the admin center. Uh, Very easy to configure. And that's why I always recommend people use it because you're getting it for free and you're paying a lot for E5. You need to have this kind of engagement. You don't have to buy a Viva license. And here you'll be able to manage settings for learning content sources. So let it open. All right. Here, if you see, there are already content providers by default from SharePoint. If you have your own local, uploaded them on SharePoint and connect that SharePoint site as a learning content, it will give you a fancy UI, as you were saying. You can have Open Sesame, Skillsoft, SuccessFactor, Udemy, like everything is there. So
And that's all within E5?
yeah, that's all within E5. You are
Okay.
not paying a dime for this.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So you can just click on the option you want and try to connect with your SSO link. It's very easy process. I've done it for the LinkedIn part. And that's it. Hardly it will start integrating on your own Teams admin center and you're all set.
Now,
Right.
E5 is not cheap, so you are paying, but it's
Yeah,
part of the
exactly.
bundle. Yeah,
But people who are paying E5, they don't even know that Viva
that
is
they have
part of it
this.
free.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why when I show them, I'm like, oh my God, we have it in the bundle. Yes. So
now they have
please do
Viva
it.
Learning, or they have the full Viva suite as part of the
No, they
E5.
have they have Viva Learning, they have Viva Engage, they have Viva Insight, and they have one more free, Viva Connection.
Okay.
These four are free for almost E5 licenses, every business E5 licenses.
Now, what about
I can ask-
others? Like Viva Engage is across the board. Everybody gets that.
Yeah.
With any e-license for sure. I don't know about the business basic ones.
Even E3, yeah.
E1, I think F1, F3 include Viva Engage as well.
Yeah.
Is there other Viva tools that are included in the lower tier suites?
Yeah, I feel strongly learning is there, but I'm not sure. I need to check that. Viva Learning is Engage. I'm aware it's everywhere because it's part of the Yammer and they have provided us free. But Viva Learning, Insights, and Viva Learning, I think these three are free with even E3 licenses. But I need to check that.
Right. Okay.
Oh, can I ask you, for Viva Learning, how can we create our custom videos? Are we supposed to place them in a special SharePoint site?
Yes. So what our team does it, like my healthcare clients, they have their learning and content SharePoint site. They usually put their content there, or they can put their content. Nowadays, the Microsoft Stream is nothing but SharePoint video gallery. So you can put your video anywhere and start reflecting on the SharePoint site here.
Mhm.
And this is the
these,
URL, you
oh,
provide,
okay,
and
it's a
it starts
single
picking up.
URL.
Yeah.
So how does it, so if I upload 20 videos, how does it know these 2 videos are for that course, the other 3 for another course?
Yeah, so it creates a collection that these are the content coming from SharePoint gallery, and which you can change it, you can rename it and divide it into like HR section, sales section, something like that. And you can meta tag those videos from there directly. Once you're done, it will start indexing that data accordingly. These are organization-based skills or organization-based learning. Yeah.
Thanks.
And here, if you see, these are the knowledge administrator, yes, sorry, who will be able to do it, all this performance and settings, and they'll be able to manage topics and delete all content, update learning and understanding settings. So this person, whoever has access, will be able to manage the LinkedIn server in the back. Like when I go to my Teams here, so I can create a feature set here, enable training, I can activate it. But okay, once it's ready, once in a year or something new is coming, like Viva Learning for here for me. I can duplicate. So you can do a lot of operations here. And this is my Manage Academy. This is what you can create an academy in your organization with your own local videos, and even you can add in LinkedIn Learning and LinkedIn content out there. So this is how you work in the plan and the learning plan.
Can I also ask? I see there is an admin section in
Yeah.
Teams,
Yeah.
and there is this separate website. Are there different or the same features are available everywhere?
Yes, so this setting is the admin setter. So once I am a knowledge administrator, I will be able to see as an admin. So here the level of access is more, like I'm able to add Coursera and all those stuff. Here I will be able to do content administration. So once I'm a knowledge manager, I will be able to see this admin section here.
So do I need both? Can I just stay in one and not use the other?
So usually the IT team handles this administrator on the tenant. They will enable Coursera with their SSO and all the stuff like that. And then the knowledge manager, which for us is the learning and development team or the HR, they have this admin rights for creating feature sets and all the stuff. Okay. So this is IT division, and this is the data center. And then you have a lot of settings here. You can assign, I was saying knowledge administrator is one, another one is knowledge manager. So difference is like he or she can do operations of creating like topics and all. This knowledge manager is able to just content. This is like pinning some learning in teams. So you can do some custom learning and pin them on the teams as like top level. If you see the learning content here, here you go. This is my home. So if you see, this is browsed by providers and duration. You can pin your own, like by your own company, x66. This is provided by them like that. And yeah, this is Team Admin Center. That's how once you enable on the Team Admin Center, it looks like this. It's hardly a minute. You just have to go to your Team's Admin Center under apps and just go search for Viva Learning and enable it. That's it. It will start reflecting for everyone. Any questions, anyone? Cool. Now comes to Viva Insight. My really number one, my favorite. Learning is my second, and Viva Insight was favorite. I'll tell you why. First of all, I think Viva Insights provides a whole dashboard to do a lot of manual operations for us. Like right now, our whole days are busy and with meetings, right? Like for me, I have been up since 7:30, and today was one of those days when it was all crazy. Like I had to block like 30 minutes before this conference call so that I get some time to take a breather. And I can just do that on a single click, like book my focus time or something like that. Really easy. Second, one of the important factor I see is sending a praise, right? Before when we used to work with people, we used to give them a praise, say, hey, good job, good work. Right now, it's not that much. Like we get the work done, thank you. The email is sent, and we're all done. This gives you a very good option, and you get reminders and all right from your inside. I don't know if you have enabled on your organization or not. Once you have Viva Insights in your tenant, you might see an email every morning 8 a.m. It will tell you all the to-do tasks which you have to do today. It will read your email. It will understand. Like for example, I wrote an email. All right, let's meet tomorrow, and I forgot to set up a time. So at morning 8 a.m. meeting, I will have an email. Hey, you said Alex said you're gonna have a meeting tomorrow. Do you want me to schedule it? These are the available times for you to schedule between both of you. So those important things are all done by Viva Insight. Even now, when you log out at 5, it will tell you time to wrap up. Soon, you will have an option which will tell you how far is how much traffic is it between you and your home and stuff like that. So I think that is a good part of Viva Insight. Again, as I said, it was all employee experience. It's for the user experience and how it's gonna work here. So that's why I love this. And let me show you the app. I am in really love with this. So here's its app here. Got it. Again, just go to Teams Admin Center and enable Viva Insight. You will just have to get it enabled. There's nothing much you have to do it. So this is how the whole UI looks like. It changed again. Last month when I logged in, and this month it's a little bit changed. So here I was talking about you can send phrases to your colleagues, you can put them on a chat, you can put them on a Teams channels and send them, you guys are awesome. So it's nice and the UI is good. People can comment and talk about it. I think that's one of the feature which I like it here and I use it quite, and it will even tell you. So it will tell the managers on a monthly, hey, it's been long, you have not praised anyone. So once you start using it. Sure, Peter, go ahead.
I like to book recurring focus time for myself in my calendar,
Yeah.
but I haven't figured out how to tell Insight that I've done that. Like, stop suggesting because I've got a 2-hour block tomorrow booked already.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. That's the issue. It will keep on telling you to do it, like maybe more and more, like for the future. But yeah, it doesn't stop. That's
So there's no way you can name it or tag it or anything so it knows that, oh, that's actually focus time, not meeting time.
Yeah, I think so. But so for example here, right? Like when I go to promote healthy teams meeting, think nice. I like this one. Set up a share plan. Like when you set up a cook, want to include a custom image, you can do it silence during focus time, not put you alerts or something that moment and stuff like that. But yeah, their own alerts, it takes a while. Try to do it on the inside. So I don't think you should get that. But if you're still getting that, that's the thing. You need to check
But
that.
you can't say I want, like, I book Friday out as my focus time, and
Yeah.
I want every Friday in my calendar booked as focus, which I can do through Outlook, and I've got a recurring meeting there. Because when you ask Viva to book quiet time or focus time, you're giving it a range for it to suggest. I don't want your
Yeah.
suggestion. I know exactly when I want my focus time. Like, just book
Yeah.
it.
So how it happen is when you book from Outlook, it doesn't understand that that's your focus time because ideally, as you said, it should understand the subject, maybe focus time or something, but it does not. But if you come in here and then block your time on
Oh,
this
so I
day,
can schedule
yeah,
it through here,
yeah,
not
and then
as a random suggestion, but as a specific time.
exactly. So once you do that, this will block it. This will really
Okay, and
block
it
it.
still shows up in my Outlook calendar.
Yeah, it will be part of your Outlook calendar. People will be able not to
They'll
block
see it as
people's
busy
meeting.
in my time, and
Right. Yeah. So you
okay,
will be in DND mode. If you're on quiet time, you'll be on DN do not disturb mode.
okay, I
So
got to
it's
check
like
that out
that.
then.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Right. So let me go back to the inside. Yeah. So I just want to say I love this for a lot of reasons. So coming to Viva Insights. So one is focus time, where you can work and plus, and another one is quiet time when you are on D&D mode, nobody can do anything. And then there's small these focus videos and take a break, a breather break, 1 minute video. So I had a call with one of my data entry operators. She's a client side and she's quite old. She told me, I love this thing. When she wants a break for like just a break, a coffee break or something, she will go and play these well-being videos. And there are a lot of them. Like they have n number of them, and she loves them. So I think when I also went in there, I have watched like a lot of videos in here, and 1 minute 30 second it relaxes you, cools you out, and then you can move ahead with them. And see the booking focus time here. You can just directly book it. It will tell you, okay, these are the time which are available on your calendar. Just click on book. It books here as well as on your Outlook calendar. And you can Outlook book one of every day. You can just book it every day. Uh, here you go. You can do it on a daily basis. You can do it for a weekly basis, and it keeps you and your Outlook free. I use it for working, to be honest. Like once you are always on the call and you need some time to just work on something, you can do this. Very easy, hi-fi space. Now comes reflect on your emoticons. I don't know, it came down, it was actually on the top screen. So, and this was really helpful. Now you'll ask me why. So when I say I'm happy or I'm sad, okay, it it makes a cumulative report and you can see it on the admin center and it can be seen by the admin center or the leadership if they want a report. Now this is really excellent. Why? In a way, it gives you a couple of things. First, you with the Viva Insight, they get a report, the people who are burnout. I'll show you to you on the screen here. So it will tell you how many people are having too many meetings, because in a way, Insight knows your team's calendar is booked in 120 times the day or hours, I would say. How is your engagement happening? How many quiet hours is your team booking? Like, are they getting enough rest or enough space for them to do their operation? So I think this is really helpful for our organizations to realize, like, if, and that's why Chase Bank, for example, I'll give an example. They have done no meetings Wednesdays, right? They want people to just focus on their work, and they should not take any calls on Wednesday, for example. So this kind of operations, you can see how it's happening, how your colleagues are, your team or your company is working on a daily. You can take some high level decisions based on these experiences, and this is like on couple of level. One is my team. I can see on my team like my reportees and how they're doing it in the whole organization. Again, there are no names, so it's just a cumulative report. And then I can see on the org level also, like how much is happening, how many people have been working on it. So I think these reports are really good for people, and you see there are a lot of organization resilience, employment engagement, in foster innovation, a lot of this kind of operations, which it calculates. To be honest, I know one, like for example, burnout, where it will tell how much long are you logging in or how many meetings are you having. There are other criteria, I like for example, foster innovation. I don't know how they're doing it, but there are some in bits pieces which you can do, and then they tells you how you can reduce meeting. It will give you some suggestions how you can enable people to do all those stuff like that. So this, and see the report, it is really quite enablement. Before, I was, as I was saying, there was nothing for auditing or reporting in SharePoint. It was more of a just how many people visited your site or SharePoint library or less. But now when you see the reporting, this is really collaborative information provided by Insight. All through Power BI reporting, all engagements. So in a way, you get more and more with Viva Insight. And then you get this learning, booking your time, focusing your period, something on the productivity side. You can have some categorization and stuff, and you can do some teamwork activities, like just to have a play around with some quizzes or something to play around. I think this is something coming along with the Viva sales as well. So in short, Viva Insights provide organization tenant insight for you to do some simple activities right on the click, and this enables that email I was talking about, which will be sent every morning 8 a.m. with all your to-do tasks, and at the end of the call, it will give you a summary of how was your day and stuff. Then now with Copilot, Viva Insights will have your meeting recordings and your to-do tasks coming up as part of your calendar and your Teams meeting. Like right now we're talking, and if we have a to-do, it will make a note of it. So all these things will be part of the Viva Insights. Any questions, anyone? Alrighty, let's go to the next one, Viva Connections. Now, Viva Connection, when it was launched, it was a big hype. It was like people will be able to change SharePoint tools, then there will be a new UI and etc. etc. But it was a flop, to be honest, right? Okay. So when Viva Connection was launched, and we were in that dev kitchen, and we were able to create these boxes with some buttons and icons. So you don't require a whole SPFX solution. You can just do some editing right on the Viva Connection as a side. So that was, I think, the whole picture, and the Viva Connection site looked quite nice, and I would say handsome, because you can integrate that parts of the themes. Now that is what is Viva Connection, and it's very important on a very practical basis, right? Viva Connection, if you Google, you'll see there are a lot of ways you can create these types. Again, they have a limitation. You can just do 5 or 7. You cannot do much of the tiles and stuff. So what Viva Connection did was, it will give you a nice SharePoint site, but at the SharePoint site, what you will be able to do is make it an app for your team. Now, for companies, right? If you never have, you don't have an app, you don't have, but you have an intranet site, right? Using 15 minutes of your life, you can create that team site as a Viva Connection app. Very easy steps. You just have to bypass a URL of your home site. It should be a modern site, and it should enable global site navigation. Once you do that, you will be able to bring your SharePoint site, which is your dev tenant, or sorry, which is your lost the word, which is your home site for intranet. Sorry, I got it. Which is your intranet site. You can create them as a team. So when I click on here, Viva connection, and I right now it shows Viva connection, but you can rename it to your company name, or you can rename it to home app or something. Every organization does that. And when you click on it, it will give you all the Viva features. Here you go. You'll have access to learning, insight, goal, engage. This is a preview, but you can make your SharePoint site, which is your home site, as a first page instead of Viva site. And if you see, this will open up as an app on your Teams. And when we show this to a client, they go bonkers because they did not do even one line of code of development, and they have a whole complete internet site as part of Teams app, which is mobile friendly, which is any iPad and any dimensional friendly. And there you go, you have your own internet site. It is just a modern site, and now it's part of your app. Now you can rename that viewer connection to your company name, like right now for me, it's tech platform. I can name it as the tech platform or the home or home app. People have been doing a lot of things. And then you can do all your customization here. So whatever customization you do on your SharePoint site, the data is in sync, the SharePoint site is get reflected, and you can ask them to pin this on the top and your home site, and you can pin this for your whole organization and make it a whole communication announce, hey, the internet is now part of the Teams app. Trust me, it's a big thing and it's a good play card for people. They love it, and they really love it when the teams, and they can do all the hyperlinks and all external things right on their phone because they have the internet site on Teams there. So
Mhm.
this is Viva connection in short, and that's the best part of it. And this is also free. You don't have to pay anything. Just enable Viva connection on the Teams. And there's a very beautiful article written by them how to bring in your internet site to Viva connection. Just follow this 7, 8 steps, and you have your team enabled.
And Preet, can you
Yeah.
rename, or I guess you have there, haven't you? At least in that screenshot.
Yeah.
Like if you
Yeah,
don't want it to say Viva Connections, you want it to say whatever your
you
internet.
can rename it. You can change the logo. You can design your own custom logo and put it up there. Everything up there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, so fancy, nice intranet site right on the clicks with zero line of code. And as you see, it will be visible on your Teams app, mobile app, and everything. And this is the first thing everybody should do if they don't have Viva.
Nice.
All right, now comes the goal. Goal is quite a product, I would say. So, and it's not for everyone, to be honest. Like these are good for delivery teams. These are good for HRs who are trying to meet a key or an objective result types or something like that. But it's not for the whole company or all organization, and that's why the license is quite different, and it's quite pricey. I think it's close to $23 or $22 a user, if I'm not wrong. So goal is nice. It's just a more defined OKR system for defining your tasks and activities, and a certain outcome of what is gonna achieve, right? Now, what happens in planner or task is you create a plan, you create like you create activities and you assign them. People start doing them and completing them or putting them in progress, and you just see a summary of what's happening on those planning and the task. Here, this is about a project. Okay, so the project will have multiple tasks, multiple teams, multiple key values. Like for example, I'm launching a mobile phone. Uh, I will start from getting a screen, a camera team, OS team, and all working towards one goal, which is to set up the whole mobile phone. So for them, goal is really important. And I think the OKRs have been very old. It's not like something new as a concept. The people have been using it from years. I think the first company was Coca-Cola, if I'm not wrong. I heard it on a story somewhere, and then they started bringing in every company. So these are more in detail project dashboard which company uses and bring in. And you can not only just do operations here, many people are on Jira or they're already using Planner, Asana, or Smartsheet, they can bring all those tasks and activity onto the Viva goals. You can do all your operation in Viva goals. It will go back and even update those in the third-party application. And this is the good reasons. I think Microsoft before was a very close kind of an environment where you can only work on Microsoft products. Now when the integrations have been allowed, like learning has Coursera or share those kind, and the data sources on the task are from Jira and Planner. This really help for people to use multiple products which they have been using and start adopting a new one. So if I have to, if a company is already on Jira and if you try to sell them Goal, they won't be like hesitating because they'll have to move everything from Jira and all. They can use both parallel together and then slowly transition completely to Goals. Right. The thing here is, again, the dashboards and the Power BI reports all will be created directly on the system. I think that's why it's a little pricey because it is a lot. It will even write a summary of what your task and activities happening. Like you have a daily call. If you see, you can just click on present and you will be able to present it directly from Teams and the goal. And it will tell you, okay, what's your progress is happening, what's the actual, what is expected, who is behind, who is on track. So quite a different platform, which will in a way enrich your planner to be a more upgraded org level project department. So when I go in here and you can see you can share it to Teams, you can share it to Outlook and stuff like that. So I have it here. I enabled this license yesterday. So it goes. Again, this will be part of the Teams and also an individual web-based. You can do both, but Teams is more easier. You can update, enhance, and record all these operations. So this is a project. I can create a project, like you can add a project like something, a title, TSPUG. Okay, and our outcome should be we need a lot of new attendees in the conferences in future, right? I can assign it to myself, I can reassign, I can see the progress, I can add projects inside it, multiple projects inside the OKRs and stuff. I can also use OKRs which are by default here in the system, sample OKRs, which will I can choose here. Like for example, I'm a company or I'm a customer success story. Let's see human resources. Increase employment retention in order to do our best work. So for us, increase attendees in order to do our best conferences, right? I can just click on add. So once I click on add, all those objectives start getting added to my project. I don't have to go and start from the scratch. Once this is done, I can start adopting it, or I can just go and edit them up here right directly. Like reduce voluntary attrition from 30 to 10. I want it to be 20. So I can do all this operation and I can keep on doing half the OKRs. I can assign them to a team. I can assign them to a single user, and you can see those status and in progress and real time. And then you'll have a dashboard created by Power BI. And I think it will take a while. You'll be able to add widgets. You can have all the information. So if I have to present it to my leadership, I don't have to go and make a deck out of it. Just come in here and I can, if you see the present icon here, I can just present it directly here. It will tell me all the key updates, all the dashboards, previous month, same month, previous week. And with Copilot, this is gonna go crazy. This is gonna even suggest to you what you should do better, what is less you have been doing it, and all the stuff like that.
So
So
Manpreet,
yeah,
I mean, it feels like a planner on steroids. Is that a fair comparison?
absolutely. That's what I say. It's more heavier, uh, not good for small organization or small teams, but if it's something like a huge launch or something is happening, it is really good for those people.
But easier than project online from a big PMO office project kind of thing. That's really
Yeah.
heavy.
Absolutely. And you see the integration, right? You can have from Box to Excel Online to GitLab, n number of integrations you can do it here from even Slack, which is quite different, right? Trello Workspace, you can get or Monday.com. You can get tasks and activities from even Monday.com. So I think this has opened up more projects is still there and it's the oldest I think we're to be saying product. I think even they're doing a lot of changes in there as well. I had a chance of seeing it last week. Uh, but this is something very different, and that's why your goal is very expensive. With licensing and all, it's gonna be the next gen for huge team and huge delivery models to work together on a certain goal level.
Okay.
There you go. All right, so let me go back to my deck. All right, now engage. Engage is something I always say is a mini Instagram, where you can add in stories. If you see here on the screen, you can chat with people. And to be honest, this is the best thing I did, and I don't know why I did it. Took a lot of time. I hated Yammer personally, because only the reason was I have to open Yammer on a browser or on an app. Like the app, I never installed it, I think, ever in my life, or on a browser to go and write something and share something or things like that. But now when Engage will be part of your teams, you will just use your phone, go into your Engage and type in your thoughts and share it. That's how Instagram, Facebook, and all have been doing, right? So this is something new which is coming, and it will be really powerful because they are bringing in some leadership corners, special places where Yammer had those as groups or closed variation, but now there will be more of a company-wide operation with backend. And if you see the live event conversation, you will be able to do schedule live events conferences here, and you will be able to see all reactions, how many questions were asked, what people was takeaway. It will even write you a summary and all the stuff in future. So I think the whole Yammer perspective is a complete new platform. I think it's a newly built, nothing related to Yammer. The community section is almost the same as Yammer, but the other features of live calls and live conferences will be really helpful for people. And somebody was saying it has a limitation of like 100 plus 100K plus people who can stream them or their leadership speaking on a call and stuff like that, which is gonna be really, really nice. I think the live event which just started as a Teams platform is now part of the Engage, and it's beautiful, totally. And you can follow people similar way as we do on Instagram. You can follow your leadership and stuff like that, and you can put in your stories for how is your day going on, which is good. I don't know if people will start just spending time and watching what people are doing on storylines, maybe, but it's a nice upgrade from what Yammer had. I don't know if you guys use Yammer or not. Like how frequent you were before on Yammer.
It's funny. I've gotten re-engaged with Viva Engage, not to coin a pun there, but and all of our old Yammer communities are still there. And there's stuff back in 2012, 2013, 2015, and it kind of went dark about that time or shortly after, because that's when we started to get into the early versions of Teams, and we kind of moved that way. Note to the TSPUG group, I think I've mentioned this before, but we're actually looking to leverage Viva Engage communities inside of our Extranet User Manager product, which is what we host the TSPUG website on. And my goal for TSPUG specifically is to get a community going in Viva Engage there, that people who join TSPUG have access to that Microsoft 365 tenant, because there's a tenant set up specifically for TSPUG, and be able to participate in conversations around that. And what I'd like to do is create topics for each session like tonight, and let people ask questions before, during, after, get a dialogue going around the session with yourself, Manpreet, with others, and have that live on in that Viva Engage community. I think there's a nice use case that should work well from that point of view.
Absolutely, and we do those raffles and those Q&As. We can all have people here. They can share stories, what they're learning, and it will be really fun. That the whole storyline will look well. I think that's a really nice idea to use Viva Engage that way.
Well, the nice thing with Viva Engage is it's actually a lot easier for people external to the organization to connect to. Teams is not great for I've got to switch the network, or I've got to set up a shared channel, but I need my IT administrator to sign off on that, and it's just too much work to get that going. Where Viva Engage is pretty low barrier to entry.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm looking forward to Viva Engage. I've not had my hands on in my company yet. They're still on the Yammer, maybe soon. And I really love it. How Viva Engage works it whole.
Well, June 24th is the final. So they've already rebranded Yammer as the mobile app, the Outlook add-in. The only thing that's left is the desktop app and the web version of it, and that's all happening the end of June. I did a sit down with Dan Holm, who's the principal product manager at Redmond for Viva Engage when we were down in M365, and we've actually got a fun little recording that we did in our booth at the conference that I'm going to get posted up in the next week or so about things that are happening in Viva Engage and what we're doing. And
I've seen that. Yeah, you took a lot of interviews. I'm waiting for them to come up.
Yep.
That's cool. Yeah, Engage is something nice. It's gonna be coming. Now, sales, another of my favorite product. Again, expensive, not free of cost, but something which I think will be a part of all CRM people and sales people and marketing people by default. And I don't think Microsoft will have any shortcomings to sell this product because it is that awesome. Uh, so I was playing around with this, and the license is really easy for you to connect if you have CRM or Dynamics or Salesforce you have been using. And the UI is all part of the Outlook. The UI is all part of the Teams. So I'll give you one example, right? Like, for example, I am talking to Peter, for example, about Viva Engage, and we both are having a conversation, and we try to make a new extension out of it for community. Just an example, right? So what happened is when I'm sending him an email, Viva Sales will identify me and ask me, is it part of your CRM module? If not, I can create one. Okay, so and it will go to Salesforce or Dynamics CRM and check whether this email ID is already present. If it's already present, it will tell, okay, his name is this, he is this, his phone number is this, the number of times you have worked with him is this much, you have done so many opportunities with him, etc., etc. So in a way, it's more of a catalog. Similar way, if I'm in an Outlook and Peter sends me an email, so when the email comes in, I get a notification from Viva Sales. Hey, you got an email from Peter. This is how many discussions you had, how many calls you have. This is his contact information. These are the opportunities you have worked with him. So in a way, I don't have to open CRM or Salesforce to actually record him. Similar way, if Dennis was the first guy and it's a first interaction, and then when he emails me, hey, I'm from Microsoft Viva team, I want to connect with you. I can just go to my Outlook, right click on his name, add it to Viva Sales, and mark him as, okay, he is the product manager of Viva Sales. All right. In future, ever, I have to search for a product manager in Viva Sales. Me, if I leave Cognizant, anyone after that, all can just go and see the database. Okay, these are the Viva administrator, these are the people from Dynamics, these are people, etc. And how much conversation you have done, and etc. Not only that, it will even listen to your call recording. Okay, and now that's the best part of it. So, for example, you will know the call recording. Okay, this is all the greeting and introduction. This is what we talk about, and then we started about at a certain level. Okay, this is what we are closing. This is where I talked about the pricing. So I can just go to that if I have to listen to that conversation again. They are all recorded calls and they stay forever. So you can understand like where there was a positive sentiment, where there was a negative sentiment. Like you can just like for me, it's quite non-belief like how it is doing, but it is doing it. That's the power of AI which is coming in.
It's
So
both creepy and cool. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And it's taking the notes, it's taking my call highlights. It will take all the tasks and to-do activities and mark it to my own self-task list, or it can mark it to your sales activity. So everything can be done. And as I was talking, you can connect to both Salesforce or Dynamics and play around with it. And very simple, like I'll open my Outlook here. So here. I did a demo with few of the people last month on Viva Sales. So this is the center. Like for example, if I'm getting an email or I am writing email, I'll have a Viva Sales option right here on the Outlook. I can just have to click on it, and like I have to sign it up with either Salesforce Dynamics. It will go and write the data in my CRM along with what I'm sending an email or all the calls I'm having with him, because it already knows, okay, I'm having a call with Dennis. Okay, he's part of the CRM. Record his call and have all the highlights ready and everything. That's
Manpreet, is this
yeah.
like a rebranded Dynamics connector, or is it replace that, or is it something different?
Yeah, it will actually replace it because that connector just brings in the data. Like you are just bypassing in the contact list. This will add on with all these features of tagging and note taking opportunities right on the Outlook. Like I don't have to open Dynamics at all. I can just see it everything once I
Well,
get
that's
it.
what the added for Outlooks for Dynamics was, but
Yeah.
I never found it worked that well. I'm just curious if this works better.
Yeah, so like no, so this actually works better. I did one whole demo on this, and you can mark them as a customer. If it's a customer, you can have some keywords. Okay, you're working on an organization. Customers can be one, sponsors can be one. You can just have these details. Click on the add section, and it goes right there. Even while you're taking on a call, you can see who are your co-workers who are working with this person, and you can chat with them. And is he a good like just get a feedback like how is this person with the sales and contracts and etc etc, all this on the Viva sales and team. So in a way, all your operations what you do on Dynamics as a hub, it will be part of your teams and as a sales product on your Outlook. So that's the whole summary out of it. And I like it. Just genuinely really good. The backend connecting is a little clumsy because you need to be on the same environment and production environment. But once you sort them out for your organization, and you're all set. It works seamlessly. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Microsoft Viva Suite. So as I was saying, these are the 4 products which are free. Learning, Insight, Connection, and Engage. I would say everybody to use it. And I think if should be possible, it is available on E3 as well. E5 I'm 100% confirmed because right now I'm on an E5 and I don't pay a dime for Viva. But if you see, I can show you everything. But yeah, for sales and goal, they're a little expensive licenses and you need to buy them both separate. But for now, do play around with. I always have a series. Go and do. First thing is create a learning model system for your company. Second thing is bring your intranet to the connection. Super simple. Just Google bring my internet site to Viva connection, and that's it. You have all the steps in there by Microsoft. Then bring in CD insights. Make do share and train these people in your company because even if you announce that a product there's something called insight, I don't think anybody cares of what is focus time or quiet time or quiet hours until you show them. And then you have the engage, the perfect platform to have engagement. I think that's where I would end this today. Any questions, anyone?
What about Viva Insights? I read that it's somehow partially free for personal something. What's the difference between what if I have E5? What do I get for free?
No difference. So inside these 4 platforms have no difference if you're on E35 or something like that. They're all similar. They just want you to use it. There's no premium version how it will work because in a way these are just the wrappers who are holding your content and stuff. But yeah, if you use, for example, Viva Sales or Google, there are third-party integration and the data calling and all this comes in the picture. But for now, Viva Insight, you can do all prelim options. Maybe what you say is the prelim licenses will work with the reporting, the leadership reporting, the organization reporting. I think those might be missing on the free licenses.
Mhm.
But
Can I ask more questions?
sure, go ahead. Yeah.
For the Viva Learning, I don't think does it work with offline videos? Let's say if I'm on the plane, can I just download a video offline?
No, it doesn't. Yeah, the Teams has to work here.
Mhm.
It doesn't record or download it and then you can play it safely. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. But that's a
Okay.
good thing. Yeah, I should try it while I'm going to build. I'll try to kick off one and see on the plane. But yeah, I think the inside part is still quite narrow. I think they have reduced a couple of features. If you see my UI, this is how the UI was, and now when you see my new UI, it is quite different. So maybe they're doing some changes with licensing and stuff like that.
And for the well-being videos, are these from Headspace or these are some different
Yeah, they're
type
from
of videos?
Headspace and Glint.
Mhm.
yeah.
And Headspace is we don't need a subscription for Headspace, right?
Yeah,
It's
you don't need it. I
free.
think it's free with Microsoft. Yes.
And for Viva Connections, you said that it's better to use the SharePoint homepage rather than that connections.
Yeah, you can use it if you're planning for doing coding, then you are like already in an SPFX and you can just have that thing like that. But if you just want to bring in already a site which is already in SharePoint, modern site, anybody who's using SharePoint Online, and it's very easy to turn away. You just have to make that site as a home site. Once you make that as a home site, you have to go to the Teams Admin Center under Viva Connection, put that URL, and you will see the changes happening. And then you can change the name, you can change the logo, and you can just pin it for your whole organization and announce it. Here's your new home app.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the problem was usually, well, there are two problems. The first is you can't add your custom, how do you call it, like ACE cards easily. And the problem is even if you can create them there, like how many can you add? Like there's 6,
7, 5 or 7 is the limit, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's the limit. So every time in every conference, somebody's asked them, when will we be able to increase the limit? And the answer is not yet. Maybe one day. So if I go here, like, so let me add a web part here. So if you see, it's just a SharePoint site I had,
Yeah.
and I just embedded that under the Viva connection. So I can even have my Viva topics as a part of the top homepage. So some new apps served, topic admin center. I'm trying to look for that button. There you go.
And
yeah.
oh, sorry. And Engage is also kind of free because it's essentially Yammer. They just renamed Yammer to Engage, right?
Absolutely. That's free. And if you see, there's still Yammer feeds. They're not gone yet. And there's no app part for Engage. We are all waiting for that. So maybe
even the yammer.com URL is going to be next year before they flip out of that. I think there's talks around sort of a broader URL change in 365, but yeah, you're going to see the Yammer still there for a while.
Yeah.
Even though it's Viva Engage. It's kind of like, Flow and Power Automate. It was flow.microsoft.com for years after they renamed it to Power Automate and eventually to update it.
Yeah, it will take a while.
Well, this was a great session, Manfred. I appreciate you presenting to the group.
No problem. Like, happy to. So this is the out of the box header card designer. Just wanted to show you this. So these are the card designers you can have. You can design it here. There's a limit of number of cards you can add, but you can have them here and start working in there. So you can make it do certain things like going to clickable icons, card, go to action, go to a link, go to a Teams app, select a media from a map. So these are the operations you can do as a Viva connection. If you want to do only Viva connection page, it will look something like this. Yeah.
Do you think they'll kill this Viva connector homepage eventually?
I don't think so. Like right now, people have been using it for the intranet site. I think they will keep it. Yeah, they won't launch it. Yeah.
I mean, generally, people just take it over with their internet site, don't they?
Yeah, they love it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because was the only reason I thought people would want to use this homepage because it shows up in Teams. But now that you can show a SharePoint intranet homepage, that's way better.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping to do, and I'm glad you showed us. I didn't know it was working like that.
Yep. Very easy. If I find the article, I'll put it on the chat here.
I found the video. I don't know if, like, I mean, if you have that URL to the article, maybe you could share it. I can send the video that I found down, but I don't know if it's any good.
It should be same, but yeah, you are gonna try. Yeah, I got that link. Here you go. Where's my chat? Yeah, put that thing there. Just do those operations and you're all set.
Mhm.
They have a step-by-step guide.
Oh, okay. That's from
Yeah.
Microsoft. That's great. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. All right, that's it from me. That was Microsoft Viva.
Very cool.
Happy to come on and show you the search connector. Those are really, really beautiful. You will love it. And how you can customize your search index and search customization result types. So both will be amazing.
I was thinking, like
agree.
longer term, I was talking about bringing Viva Engage into the TSPUG, and part of it was to get the conversations around the sessions that we run in there.
Yeah.
Does anybody object if I literally take the chat from this session and publish it up onto the event page? Dennis, should we leave the AI comment just for laughs in there, or does that worry anybody that we get public with that?
No, go ahead. I want to see what the result. I'm not quite sure how you plan to use it, but I have no objections.
Okay, let me throw it up there and I'll send you a DM so that you know that it's there, and I'd love your feedback on that. It'll have Manpreet's links in there and all that kind of stuff, because I think it's useful to have that conversation in there. It won't be interactive that you can further contribute to just yet, but the plan is to bring Engage in and be able to do that fairly soon.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Cool. So I'll put a note out to the group on if we want to hustle and get to sort of a fun Toronto Islands event together for June, or we stick with a webinar, or we do something down at the Microsoft office. We're probably getting too late to queue up an office thing, but let me figure that out. If not before the end of this week, then by the beginning of next week, so we got enough lead time to get some interest going and such from there. And once again, Manpreet, thanks you so much. It was a great session.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for everyone.
Have a great evening, everyone. Bye now.
All right, have fun. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.